Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to do a video to show off these really neat Simplex pull stations. So you might be thinking, oh, those are just, that's just a 4251-30 break glass pull station, and then that's just a sort of interesting local fire alarm 4251-20, just standard older conventional pull stations, but there's actually a lot more to these than you'd think. So on the front, they just look like standard conventional pull stations, but if we go ahead and flip them over, you can see that these are actually very, very early addressable pull stations. So this is what you'd consider the Mapnet type, which I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not too familiar on the Simplex addressable protocols, but what is it? Mapnet is the older protocol, and then IDNet is what they have now. And basically the Mapnet pull stations, the original ones, had these huge backs. You can see this was probably one of the earliest addressable pull stations. There's this huge circuit board, and then of course that's where the switch connects. To mount one of these, you would need a trim plate, or you would just need to mount it on a Simplex back box. But it's definitely interesting because it's not every day that you see these really old pull stations. So I'll go ahead and pop these open, and I'll show you what the models are. These aren't even 4251 style or model pull stations. These are 2099, very, very early. So you can see here there's a place to set the address, or there's a place to set it. You stick your screwdriver through there. These are the wiring terminals. And this model right here is model 2099-9785. Definitely one of the later variants of this style of pull station. Probably one of the last devices produced with this Simplex logo. And then over here, even though this one is really interesting, it says local fire alarm. You can see on the inside, once again, it is addressable, and the model is 2099-9786. So that's definitely really, really interesting. When I first saw these, I thought the local fire alarm was the most interesting part about it, but the fact that it has an addressable module on the back definitely makes it just that much more interesting. So I can go ahead and show you the non-addressable variants, the older style. So this right here, from the front, they look completely identical. You can see that you wouldn't be able to tell if these were in a real facility. But if we go ahead and pop these standard versions open with our Simplex B key, this one right here is just a 4251-20, and you can see that the back of it just is regular screw terminals. All of these older ones with the screw terminals have the same terminal blocks as the 4251-20 ones, which are the dual contact versions. I can actually show you that right now. I believe it is this one right here. This is a 4251-21. You can see this one has a two contact switch. Pretty interesting, but nevertheless, that's what I mean. So this is just a standard conventional pull station. And then right here, this is a addressable, or no, this is also a conventional pull station, and again the model is 4251-30. So yeah, that's that. I just thought it was really interesting that these pull stations were the original type that had the older logo and pull station housing, but they had the addressable module. So later on, the 2099 series became something like this, which is probably something you're a lot more used to seeing on the older Mapnet Simplex systems. So, you know, obviously this has the newer housing, has the slightly newer Simplex logo before they transitioned. If you look at the back, you'll see a resemblance between the modules. I mean, this one's a little more cream colored, but again, very similar design. And this is the mounting plate I was talking about. It's a trim plate. Obviously, it does make the device a little better looking, but it allows you to mount it on a double gang back box. And then after these pull stations were discontinued, quote unquote, they switched up the logo. So that would be this style right here. This is the logo I'm talking about. And then they now have this logo. This is the module on the back that they currently use. A lot smaller, you can see from the original addressable module, and now you can mount these on a single gang box. I've taken out these terminals from the factory wiring because I want to just use this as a conventional pull station. It's nice because you can just unscrew it and not do any permanent damage, whereas with these you would have to cut the wires, which would basically ruin the pull station. Probably would have done that as a kid, but now I'm more about preserving the original pull stations because, I don't know, it's just not good to ruin pull stations permanently. But yeah, that's that. Now I have quite the mess of pull stations on my floor. I just wanted to do that video, show off these really neat looking devices. But yeah, thank you for watching. Please do like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Farewell.